Hey, look, to those of you who've been working so hard on this campaign, I want to say thank you. I've never experienced a more humble honor than to be able to fight at your side and along your side in this noble battle. So thank you for everything you've done to get us to this point. We are now just 2 days away from the Iowa caucus.
Yeah!
And I know we have people here from all over the country who are here to change the future of our nation. And so those of you that have come in from California, those of you that have come in from
New Mexico,
New Jersey, shout out your name. It's a Democratic convention.
Florida,
Where was that, Georgia? Georgia? Florida?
Yep.
South Carolina back here.
South Carolina back there as well. And of course, we've got some Marylanders here in the house. So look, gang, we've now done about 130 some events all across the state. And today I was barnstorming out through northwest Iowa, and there are a lot of people who, for the very first time, kind of zeroed in on the decision they had to make, and they did it around that last forum, the forum that was on CNN.
Woo!
I'm hearing a lot of great feedback from that, and I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they're going to go out and they're going to caucus for us. We're seeing the conversion rate going up on the phones, so the phones are still critically important.
Yes,
Let me give you three true stories. In East Des Moines, last week, there was a mock caucus, and they had 3 delegates to split up. In the first split, it was 2 for Clinton. It was 1 for Sanders, and we were just 1 person shy of viability.
Oh.
And then the Sanders people realized that they could deny the Clinton people a delegate, so they sent 2 people to the O'Malley corner, and it ended up 1 for Sanders, 1 for Clinton, and 1 for O'Malley.
Yeah!
At Central College, just last night, they had 5 delegates to split up. And Central College and Pella, and the split ended up being 1 delegate for Clinton, 2 delegates for Sanders, and 2 delegates for O'Malley.
Yeah!
And at Drake University, 2 nights ago, we got some Drake people in that. You did an awesome job out there. Jordan was there at Drake University. They had 312 students and faculty come to caucus. And the split there for the 10 delegates was 2 for Clinton, 4 for Sanders, and 4 for O'Malley.
Yeah!
So the truth remains that the people of Iowa make up their own mind. And they make it up usually in ways that surprise all of the pundits. And I know for those of you that are Iowans, you feel like you have a birthright to upset the apple cart, don't you?
Darn right.
Admit it. And with 3 of us in this race, there's only 1 of us who can still upset the apple cart.
That's right.
So look, I need you to hold strong. Our country's going through a time of great division and great polarization and tremendous challenge. This is not an ordinary election year, when the front runner in their party is a guy who makes increasingly more fascist appeals. This should tell all of us this is not an ordinary fight. It's a fight for the future of the United States of America. It's our future as a character, our future as a people. And there's not a doubt in my mind about where we're headed, because I've talked to young people all across our country. And the America that they carry in their hearts is a far more compassionate, far more connected, far more generous place than what you might hear from some of the candidates in the Republican Party. So we're going to continue to speak to that goodness within, and we're going to continue to call it out. And speaking of calling out, there's a few people I really want to recognize. Linda Klein, who's been running phone banks here. Is Linda here now? Linda's not. Make sure you tell her I called out her name. Julie Stewart. Julie, thank you for all you have done for me. How about Nancy Bobo?
Right here.
Right here. Nancy as well. You guys have been phenomenal. Look, there's a reason. This is not an easy undertaking here, folks. This is what we need to do. We need to beat expectations on caucus night and turn this into a 3-person race. And if we do that, the American people that are scanning the horizon looking for that new leader are going to respond in the subsequent states. So many of you have worked so hard, and I know some of you here may be here for the first time, so let me give you the encapsulated talk, and it is this. Look, we have come a long way since the Great Depression, or recession rather, of 2008. When we were this close to being plunged into a Great Depression, Iowa lifted up a new leader in Barack Obama, and he's moved our country forward. We are now creating jobs again. 2 years of the best job growth that we've had since the 1990s. But so many of our neighbors are pessimistic about the future because for the first time since World War II, 70% of us are earning the same or less than we were 12 years ago. So we've got to change that. We've got urgent work to do. We've got to build on the good things that the President has done. And we've got to restore the reality and the promise, that concrete promise of the American dream that says, in our country, you start where you start, but you should be able to get ahead. And we do that not by words, but by the actions we take. Look, my experience is not that of a Democratic conversion. It is of a Democratic upbringing. And in part of that upbringing, my parents taught us the stronger we make our country, the more opportunities our country can give to ourselves and to our kids. And therefore, we must return to our true selves. Remember that our economy is not money. It's people. It's all of our people. And therefore, we must turn the minimum wage into a living wage so that nobody who works hard for a living We need to pay for overtime work and make real the promise of equal pay for equal work for men and women. And if we want wages to go up rather than down, we need to build an inclusive American economy, and that means lifting 11 million of our neighbors out of the underground shadow economy with comprehensive immigration reform, with a pathway to citizenship for all. And instead of cutting Social Security, I've put forward a plan to expand Social Security and increase benefits. And instead of making it harder for people to join labor unions, we need to make it easier for people to join labor unions and bargain collectively. Secondly, look, no great country ever ever expanded generational wealth or opportunity by locking cash in a closet. We invest in things that pay a return over the generations, right? Infrastructure, the water and waste infrastructure, transportation, and cures to diseases and human solutions to human problems, and one other very important thing, and that is we educate our kids at higher and better levels in every generation. My dad went to college on the GI Bill. My adorable daughters went to college on a mountain of bills. And it doesn't need to be that way. And that's why on this campaign we have put forward a plan to move us to debt-free college in the next 5 years. And finally, hello, Kim. You've made it here for the crescendo. Come on in. And finally, the great challenges of our times. Look, folks, we have always faced challenges. And as Americans, we've never run from them. We've squared our shoulders to these challenges. We're facing the challenge of the whole changing nature of conflict and warfare. And we're up to this challenge. And we're going to meet it not listening our American values as Donald Trump would have us do, not by turning against each other or scapegoating people on the basis of their religion. We're going to defeat this new threat, and we're going to do it by holding true to our American values, the truth that we're all in this together, and that there is nothing the United States cannot do, at home or abroad, so long as we act in accordance with our principles and join in coalition and new alliances with like-minded people around the world. Which leads me to my final point, and that is the great challenge of climate change, the greatest business opportunity to come to the United States of America in 100 years. And look how Iowa's leading the way, pointing the way forward once again.
Yes.
Almost 35% of your energy now comes from clean Iowa wind. And it supports 5,000 jobs that weren't there before. And the great news about those big component parts you see rumbling down your highway is that for the most part, they're too damn big for it to make sense to import them from China.
That's right.
So they're manufactured here, and we're employing people here. I'm the first candidate, and let's hope not the last, to put forward a plan to move us to a 100% clean electric grid by 2050 and create 5 million American jobs along the way. what? This is where it starts. This is where new beginnings happen. This is where you upset the apple cart and change the course of America's future. 2 months ago, I laid out those 15 goals to rebuild the truth of the American dream we share. Some of them also include things like full employment for our veterans, eradicating childhood hunger in America in the next 5 years, creating a national service option for every kid in the United States so we can cut youth unemployment in half in the next 5 years. These are the ambitions that are worthy of a truly great people. So this is what I ask of you. I ask you to do what you have always done so well. People who tell me that I face a tough fight, I tell them I know. We all face a tough fight. It's the fight to give our kids a future with more security, more health, and more opportunity. It is the only fight worth fighting. And we are all in this together. So when you go in there on caucus night, and I've talked to a lot of you who are prepared for battle, when you go into that caucus, I want you to hold strong on that first alignment. I want you to hold strong not only to lift up a new leader and a new president, I want you to hold strong for that country you carry in your heart. I want you to hold strong for that third grade boy or girl who's only going to be in third grade once. I want you to hold strong for that dreamer who goes to school and goes to work every day and worried about whether she'll come home and find her parents have been deported. I want you to hold strong for that senior citizen who's worked hard all her life and now finds she's choosing between her medicine and her food. I want you in that first alignment in that caucus to hold strong for that mom and dad that are working 3 jobs between them and splitting up the bills over the kitchen table after the kids are in bed and wondering if they'll be able to give them a better future. Well, you know what? You're going to hold strong because, in fact, we can and we must. We are all in this together. We are a good, we are a kind, we are a generous people, and we have only need to renew the faith we have in one another and to lift up a new leader to move our country forward. And that's what you're going to do come Monday night here in Iowa.
Yes! There you go. Oh, Mally. Oh, Mally. Mally. Mally.
And keep making phone calls for crying out loud.
Will do.
You got to hear all of it. That was perfect timing. Sorry you're not here. I will get the address and I'll text it to you right now, okay? Oh, fabulous. Excellent. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Bye-bye.
I'm live on Periscope right now.
You're what?
I'm Periscoping.
Oh.
Hi.
Thank you. Find some Iowans. Get them to come. Good meeting you guys. Thanks. Sure, absolutely.